Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Tilson Live. It's Tuesday. It's 2 o'clock. We are coming at you live as we do each and every week. Live on YouTube, live on Facebook, live on Spaces. Just kidding. We're not on Spaces. But we are on YouTube. We are on Facebook, coming at you as we do each and every single week to talk about all things building on your land. I'm Eric Alarid, part of the fourth generation of the Tilson family. And I'm joined, thankfully, by the best, the brightest, the all things marketing genius, culture genius, Dawn Dantzler of Tilson Homes. How are you, Dawn?
I'm good. How are you doing, Eric?
I'm good, doing great. It's the dog days of summer. Back to school is happening. Traffic is in full effect.
Traffic is trafficking. Yeah.
Oh, school buses, teenage drivers. Yes, all of it. Regular drivers. Don't blame the kids and the school bus drivers. The regular drivers. Anyway, We're back. But we are today here live on YouTube, on Facebook, to talk about building a custom home on your land. We are with Tilson Homes. Tilson Homes has been doing this for over 90 years. So we are exclusively on your land custom home builder. We only operate in Texas. So if you've got questions about building a home on your land in Texas, you have magically found your way through the internet, probably through some advertising and maybe some search engine optimization, to Facebook Live and YouTube. So here we are to talk about all things building on your land at any stage is what we want to talk about. So if you've got questions about design, construction, financing, customization, site preparation, maybe somebody told you need a septic system, you don't know what that is. Somebody told you need a culvert and you're like, why are we making fancy words for pipes? I don't understand. What is a construction job and why do I need it? How much clearing gets done? Like, how do I get power to this place? Do hurricanes happen? What do y'all do for that? That's what we're here to answer. There are no dumb questions. No dumb questions at all. But before we even get there, we want you to jump into the chat. Tell us where you're watching from, where you're building, and what part of the process you are in. Maybe some of you have already been here and done this, and you're just coming here to watch, the other people suffer. I mean, I'm kidding. To help other people through this process. I'm kidding. We have a lot of very, very happy customers. They join us every week. Probably just to watch us trip up or watch me trip up, which I'll own that here in a minute. But before we get there, dude, jump in where you're watching from, where you're building, what part of the process you are in. We want to hear from each and every single one of you. There are no dumb questions except for which ones, Dawn?
The ones that you don't ask.
Do not leave here today without getting your question answered. That's why we're here. That's why we do the show. So, anyway, specifically, Dawn, while people jump in and tell us where they are in the process, what they're building and where they're building, what are we talking about today?
So like Eric is alluding to, we're going to be answering all of your questions. We do have some starter questions. So the most frequently asked ones that we hear over and over and over again that we've kind of got queued up to start answering, but also we're going to answer anything that you guys want to talk about. So if we don't get to all of our questions, that's all the pre-prepared one. That's fine because we want to make sure that we're answering yours. So yeah, we've got, like I said, we've got some of the most common ones that we hear over and over again for anybody who might be new and shy who's joining us. But then whatever questions you more experienced folks have, you throw them out at us too.
Guaranteed, if you have the question, someone else is thinking it, and you're going to be the courageous one to ask it, and you're going to help out a buddy. So that happens all the time here, and we are glad to share this community of knowledge. We're not the only two people that know what's going on here. A lot of people in the chat know what's going on. We have a team of highly capable people around us. I have a phone here that I can text people and get a hold of them and get some answers.
We will phone a friend. We will.
Which I should have done a couple weeks ago. I have to admit, I'll go back. I was fact-checked. Eric was fact-checked. I misspoke and said that the Paladuro plan included 8-foot interior doors. It does not. We do have plans that do. The Paladuro is not one of them. So I apologize for that. I hope you can forgive me. But anyway, so hey, we're going to speak truth here. Hopefully we speak the truth in love. Usually we do that. But anyway, we...
I forgive you. We cover a lot of houses, and you and I are not in the sales office every day anymore, so we lose track of things.
No excuse. But anyway,
and they are 8 foot in the model, which is where the confusion came from. That is an upgrade that we chose to feature.
And by the way, it's not a very expensive upgrade. So,
and we do recommend that you do it.
Yeah. So anyway, folks, jump into the chat. Tell us where you're watching from, where you're building, what part of the process you are in, and we want to hear from you. So, Dawn, who is joining us so far today?
We got Denise, who's saying good afternoon from Maryland, planning on building the Canyon
Welcome
D in
back.
Washington
Welcome
County.
back.
We got Michaela, hi from Kaufman again, trying to decide what floor
Mm.
plan we want to build. We're leaning more towards the canyon, but we need to make
That's okay.
changes. All right,
Okay.
we can help you with that. Tell us what you like about the canyon and what you're thinking about
Yeah.
changing, and we can help guide you. And we got Scott, hello from Anderson County, thrilled to say that our
All
responsibilities
right.
have been ready and excited to get things going. It's been a long 25 years coming. Oh, wow.
Like the scene from Titanic. It's been 84 years. Well, that's awesome, Scott. That's great news, and thanks for diligently sticking to it.
Mhm.
And we can talk about what some of those responsibilities, because some people new joining may be like, "What do you mean
Yeah.
our responsibilities? What do we have to do? I'm paying you to build the house. What do you?"
Absolutely. Did you want to talk about that now? Or you
Oh
want
yeah,
me
of course. That's why I alluded to that. So right. So it is built on your lot, right? So
Mhm.
what Scott's alluding to here is that there's some things that happen on the land that we can't do. I mean, a lot of things we can, but there's certain things that are owners' responsibilities, like dedicating an easement to a power company. Like if you have to have, if a utility company needs to come and put poles or underground electric on your property, Dawn and I can't give them permission to do that, as it's
Mm-mm.
your land. So that could be something like that. A lot of getting the culvert even applied for in a lot of cases, especially if you're on a state highway. The Texas Department of Transportation, TxDOT, is going to require that the landowner make that application. You know, we can help you with the layout if you need that, or the design, but at the end of the day, the landowner has to do that. You are the landowner. So there's some things that because the land is actually owned by you, that we cannot do, and we go through those responsibilities. And there's other little things, like if you want to have some clearing done and you want to get it done yourself, or
Mhm.
if you're not have a water well, if you're having a water meter put in, you have to go pay the tap fee and pay because I can't do that. I can't get a water tap installed for property I don't own. I can't set up a bill in Dawn's name. This is a good thing. Okay. It's not it'd be awesome, but they kind of frown on that. It's called fraud.
They
So
do, yeah.
anyway, so Scott is we're celebrating that he got his stuff done. But yeah, there's all kinds of, if you got questions about what I might have to do, or questions about maybe the county's telling you one thing and the septic person's telling you something else, ask those here too, because we've
Mhm.
gone through that. And every county is a little bit different. There are some counties in Texas that we can apply for the permit, we can do everything. There are others that they actually want the landowner to come in and physically sit down with them. I think they're just lonesome. Honestly, they're just lonely.
They're hoping you're going to bring donuts.
That always helps. Always helps. I don't know a lot of gluten-free county employees yet. It's coming. It's coming. But right now, especially us guys, we have no problem with it. Okay, we'll handle the gluten for you. No problem. Don't worry about that.
Give me all your gluten.
We're
It's
very
fine.
sacrificial that way. Very sacrificial.
Glad you're willing to take one for the team.
Of course.
All right. We've got Robin saying just signed a contract Sunday to build a 2-bedroom LaPorte B in Limestone County. Awesome.
Very cool. That's
Very,
awesome.
very cool.
We just started another one in Limestone County. Oh, that's nice.
Nice. We've got Rick saying, I believe I've heard you all say VA loans allow for existing structures on the property. Can you confirm or deny?
Oh man, now that I've been fact checked, they're like, all right, can you get this right or not? So, I believe that they do. Yes. The good news is John Powers and his team over at Wagon Hill Home Loans can actually answer that definitively. But yes, I do believe that VA is one of the few that if you have, let's say, a mobile home on the property, that they'll allow you to leave it there. There are some other logistics involved, like obviously if you're going to try to use the same septic system or something like that, that's going to get complicated. We have to upgrade the system. But most people that we run into, they want their new home to go where the mobile home is, or at least right near it, and they intend to move the mobile home. But that's not 100% the case, Rick. So yes, VA, they do allow, at least they did, I think they still do, allow you to keep a mobile home or existing structure on there.
Okay, awesome.
Other ones do not. So be real clear that conventional FHA, all those, they do not. You cannot, you can't have two single family residences on one piece of collateral property with other loan programs. So VA is exclusive.
Okay. All right. We've got Sean saying that he didn't get his housewarming. I think is what we're saying. I'm so sorry, Sean. I'm sorry to hear that. Can you send me a private message and I will get somebody out there to help you with that? Because you should have gotten your gift and everything. So just send us a private message and we will take care of that. And then we've got Denise saying anxiety is real for everything that needs to be done. I'm glad to have you all to help. Well, we are here for you. We are definitely your anxiety support system. So let us know what the questions are, what we're worried about. We're gonna all get through this. We're gonna all get through.
Be anxious in nothing. We have
Yes.
the means to help. So anyway, folks, now at this point, this is what we want you to keep dropping things in the chat. Okay, we want to hear from you. Questions about the process.
Rick says the mobile home has the kids and grandkids. Like, that is very important that we've allowed that to stay.
You're going to want them to put seat belts on before you move it out. So just bolt down the recliners and the couches. They make the little come along straps. We can make this work. Don't worry. Kids will love it. Be exciting.
Okay.
Oh, he wants to leave it there. I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. He would like them to stay. So, yeah.
I understand. What's funny is like grandkids can stay, kids got to
go. Mom's getting in the way. In the way.
Exactly. All right, so folks, drop into the chat. We want to hear all the questions about financing, questions about site preparation. That seems to be one that is maybe a blind spot for folks. You don't really know what you should be looking for, what you should be asking. Ask those questions here. Construction, warranty, design, color selection, site preparation, all that kind of stuff. Drop into the chat. We'll answer every one of those questions. We do have some prepared. I hear some people say pre-prepared. It's not pre-prepared. Prepared. That's it. That's
what I over prepare is when you pre-prepare.
Pre-prepare. That's when you have anxiety about what you prepare about. That's pre-prepare.
Common. It's very common for me. There's a lot going on in this head.
Thank goodness. I got plenty of vacant space. All right, so Dawn's going to queue up a couple questions that'll probably get the ball rolling a little bit. But truly, y'all drop your questions into the chat. We want to hear from each and every one of you. And if you're just joining us again, drop in the chat where you're building, what part of Texas or the world you're watching us from, and any questions that you have.
Yeah.
Dawn, what's your first question that you're rolling out there?
We'll start with the $1 million question that we always get asked. How long will it take to build my home?
Okay.
And I did phone a friend on this one.
What say you? Oh, good. Then we'll go with your answer.
So our company goal is to get you into your home 1 year from when you sign your agreement with us. So 1 year from signing your agreement to move in is our ultimate goal. It could go faster, it could go slower, but that is what we are aiming for. And I want to talk a little bit about what could happen that might change that. Generally, kind of what Eric and I were talking about before, our process is divided into 2 stages. And that's why we were celebrating so much that all of Scott's responsibilities were done, is because that's the first stage, is really kind of what we refer to as pre-construction. And that's when we're doing the design and getting all of the land prep kind of responsibilities done before we start building your house. So that is the first part of the process. And this is the one that as the homeowner, you're going to have the most control over. Generally speaking, that's going to be about 3 to 4 months. And it's going to be all of what I consider to be the fun stuff of like designing your house, making all the changes, picking out your colors. And the more decisive that you can be with those and the less times you change your mind, the quicker it will go. So that's where you really have an influence. And then there's all the other stuff that Eric was talking about that I think is less fun, but I understand other people think is way fun to get out in equipment and clear land and, do all of that, be outside, do the outside things, all of that stuff. So getting the land prepared, getting your culvert in, getting in your construction drive, setting up your power and utilities, getting all the permitting, all of that stuff is happening at the same time. Once we have all of those things complete, that's when we start construction. On average right now, the time under construction is 221 days of the houses that we're closing right now. And 50% of those are closed in under 200 days. So I'm going to, for safety's sake, call that 7 to 8 months, because we want to allow for Mother Nature's actually going to have one of the biggest influences during your construction time frame. That's where, if we do see delays, that's where it's going to happen. It's, there's a hurricane. There's more rain. That wasn't a hurricane, but should have been called one. Things like that. That's what's going to slow us down in those phases. So you're looking at about a year from the time you sign an agreement until move-in. Could be faster, could be slower, and we will give you the best estimate that we can as we're going through the process.
There's a benefit to the way that our business model works for you. Because of the easy buy financing, the way we do that, what that means is Tilson doesn't get paid for the home if you're financing the home. You're not doing a one-time close or something or paying cash. If you're financing the home with our Easy Buy program, we don't get paid till the house is completely finished and you've completed your walkthrough and homeowner orientation and you move in. So we are in your corner with respect to getting your house started and completed as efficiently as possible.
And to keep us honest, we also warranty our own homes. That's all done in-house. So yes, we're going to get you in as quickly as possible. But we're also going to make sure it's done right. So we're not visiting you every day for the rest of your warranty period. So we get you as quickly as we can with it done.
Yeah, without sacrificing quality.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great question, Dawn. I'm glad you asked.
Yeah. Well, I have another one that I'll ask you since you started to answer it anyway. What are the ways to pay for my new home?
Oh, there you go. So we take cash. We do not take Bitcoin, at least not yet.
That's how I'm going to pay for my home when I grow up.
I'm down. Let's do this. I'm cool with this. Blockchain for the win. So there's basically two ways to pay for a home. You pay cash or you can finance it. When you finance a home, that's called a mortgage. And the way that works most of the time for builders all across Texas is a construction loan of some sort, either a one-time close or two-time close construction loan. That means that your builder needs you to borrow the money to build the house. They take draws during construction. Some have it set up where the interest is accruing as the draws are going. Some of it have it set up where you're making the payments. You're making interest-only payments. Some of it have it where you're pushing all that interest and those payments to the end, to the actual closing when it goes to the permanent. And then a one-time close is exactly what it says it is. You close one time upfront for the construction and the permanent loan, and then the builders on a shot clock. Basically, they have 12 months. I mean, they have plenty of time because you're talking about just construction at that point. So 12 months.
Yeah.
Of nail driving and completion to get done. And then there's the way that Tilson exclusively does it here in Texas, and that is the Tilson's Easy Buy program, where our lender gets you approved up front for the permanent loan. So it's a fully underwritten loan approval. So they do the appraisal, they underwrite, they get your W-2s or your tax returns or your pay stubs, your bank statements, all the things, all the invasive things just that you're going to have with any mortgage company. You get fully underwritten up front at that moment in time. As long as you have 10% equity, there's no down payment to us. And then we build, and you do your walkthrough with us and everybody's happy and you go to closing, and then we get paid. Your payments don't start. You don't close on that loan till the house completely finished. There's no interest accruing. There's no payments being made during construction. None of that. You actually do not close on that loan until the house is finished, which, by the way, is a really cool thing right now because I don't think there's anybody out there predicting that rates are going to do anything but go down.
Right.
So the one-time close that we do offer, and we do offer a one-time close, is you do lock in that rate up front. It's a little bit more expensive because you're locking in a rate for effectively 12 months. You're paying for that lock. But you also have a one-time float down. So let's say that you lock in, I think today's rates are like 6.78%. And then if rates drop while you're under construction, you will have the opportunity before completion to lower that rate to whatever the current market rate is at the time. So those are different ways to pay for it.
Awesome. And then we do have some questions coming in, so we're going to get them. All right. So Robin is asking, does septic need to be installed prior to construction or just the septic plans complete?
Very good question. So the answer is 99% of the time, no. On the rare occasion that accessing where the septic is going to ultimately go is going to be inhibited by where the home ends up, yes. I think I've seen that once in the last 20 years where we literally needed to set the septic first because once we got the home built, we were not going to be able to get back there to it. They can still service it, but they weren't going to be able to get the equipment back there, dig the thing out, and put it in there and all that. But all the rest of the time, no, we prefer it not be. In fact, we do not want to break it. We don't want to crush the lids. We have heavy equipment going on. And we don't typically ask you to put it on there until usually the masonry is on the house, or in the cases where it's all hardy, like these board and bat homes that you see, once it's painted. Once it's painted, we're pretty well done with the outside in that case. Maybe the roof is on. Actually, that'd be a better time when the roof goes on, because we paint before with the roof on, ideally. So that's when it would go in. But yes, great question there. Yes, the plans do need to be complete. Every county in Texas does require some type of septic permitting. Not all of them have building permits, but 100% of them, it's a state law, the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality. You have to, the state requires that people disclose how they're what's your plan to get rid of the wastewater.
Right.
Because you can't dump it in a river, you can't dump it on your neighbor's property, you can't dump it in a lake. So they need a septic design does need to be completed, and the county has to approve that. It's different from county to county, but it's a very easy deal, and we can help you with that as well.
Okay. All right. Rick is asking, geotech versus perk test, two separate items, or does geotech provide answers for perk septic? Guessing it is separate, but figured I would ask. Yeah, I would prefer not to have to move the kids and grandkids.
Yeah, I get it. So, okay. They are two separate tests. Yeah, and they have to be done. They are done separately. A geotech is a lot more, it's more invasive. It's more telling. It is more involved, certainly. Than a perk test. A perk test literally can be done with like a post hole digger or even a shovel. So I say post hole digger like everybody knows. The worst job on the farm would be digging post holes by hand. That's the worst.
Yeah. I still have flashbacks when we put a fence in on my property when I was little.
Yeah, no, not fun. But yeah, so that can be done with a post hole digger. They're basically on a perk test, it's which is short for percolation. So old coffee that percolates through a filter. That's how it works. We used to. Now everything has K-cups, I guess, but they still percolate technically.
They're bringing it back.
Oh, good. It's good. It's better that way.
Yeah.
I just remember like the old church potluck. At 3 p.m, the old people drinking coffee out of the either avocado green or harvest gold coffee percolator. I know, right?
Yes. Yes, the avocado green appliances.
I can even smell the nostalgia right now. Okay, so, but in the same principle, the water, they're trying to see how long that dirt can hold water. So sand would be best. 100% clay is the worst. So clay holds water. That's why they make clay pots and things like that hold water. And sand, obviously, water percolates straight through it. So that's what the perk test is telling them. It's basically telling them how many gallons, how much square foot of land you're going to need to dedicate to typically a spray field. Most of the ones we see are a aerobic system with a surface application. So you have aerobic and conventional. That's the two types of septic systems. And then within aerobic, you have drip or underground in distribution, or you have surface application. 95% of those we see are surface application. The exceptions are when you get close to a body of water, like a river or lake, something like that. They don't want you spraying the water onto the surface where it could run down into the water. On those, you have to do a drip type system. So, but that perk test is telling the registered sanitarian or PE, professional engineer, how much land they're going to dedicate to a spray field or a septic field based on how well that. But they're only worried about the top 2 or 3 feet of dirt, maybe top 2 or 3 feet. Whereas on a geotechnical investigation, an actual soil sample for a home, for a building, with the exception of where we encounter rock, we're going down 15 to 20 feet. We want a lot more detail on how this land is going to react, how this soil is going to react to excess moisture, lack of moisture, normal conditions, how much plasticity index it has, its center lift, its edge lift, it's all kinds of coefficients and physics words that I won't bore you with. But basically, is it going to heave? Is it going to sink? Is it what's it going to do over time when it has excess rain, lack of rain? That's what a geotechnical investigation will do for us, and versus a perk test. Perk test is much, much simpler.
Okay. Makes sense. All right. Jessica is asking question about the second appraisal near closing time. Is it an entirely new appraisal or just a confirmation that the previous original pre-build appraisal still stands? I've been watching the listings and there seem to be more comparable comps since the original appraisal.
Yeah. So typically, Jessica, that's an awesome question. Typically is not a entirely new appraisal. There was a time where that was happening. It was during COVID and the aftermath of COVID when construction of homes was taking over 12 months. So appraisal is good for 12 months, basically.
Right.
If it goes over that time, then a new one does have to be done. That is not to say, so traditionally it's a verification that the builder built what
They said
or
they were
what
going
was
to build.
submitted to the appraiser. Yeah,
Yeah.
like did you build what you said you were going to build, or did you do an appraisal for a San Jacinto and then you went out and built a LaPorte or a San Antonio? So it has to be what we said it was going to be. That's really all the appraisal is. But if you believe it would benefit you to get a new one, I am sure that the lender would allow you to pay for a new one, order a new one. That's a great Wagon Hill question. They could help you through that. But for me, like if you can verify that there's better comps that are going to bring your equity up, that your appraised value up, I would probably spend the money and do it. But I want to be pretty sure about that, because it's a gamble. I mean, you can do it and it not be more.
But if you're on that bubble for like PMI, it's probably worth it.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah. If you're at that, 18% equity versus 21% equity, and you can avoid paying private mortgage insurance, that would be worth the gamble.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right. We've got Misty checking in from Toller. Just had the ribbon cutting on the San Jacinto XL. Yay. And thank you for coming today. I know it's been a very busy day for you.
Yes.
Did your closing on your beautiful, beautiful house. So excited. We've got Alicia out there taking pictures this morning as well. So I'm excited to see those. Beautiful house. We've got Erica saying, just on an off chance, any way to make a Tilson home a Mediterranean feel with stucco and tile roof, or is it too heavy for the structure?
Oh, it's not too heavy for the structure. No, I mean, it's the tile roofs are not, our roofs will handle Mediterranean tile, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't done it a lot, but we do have a source for it. I mean, stucco, so low pitch stucco. I mean, Paladuro comes to mind. It can be easily done there, and we can source a tile roof. There are lots of really cool alternatives to tile now that look like tile. There's actually even a metal that looks like tile, but there's concrete or caladium, a man-made product that's a little bit more easier to work with. That's the best way to say that. Doesn't take quite a specialized labor pool, because working with tile roof it is a smaller labor pool to pull from to do that. But yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, it just reach out to your sales consultant. It would be a special price request that they would need to make, but we can absolutely get that price for you. We got Valerie saying, how do you feel about customers visiting construction sites without interfering with workers? I just like to watch and could park there all day watching the framing process. Assuming it's your house, 100% go for it. Otherwise, it's trespassing. But yeah, I mean, we have customers who live on site while their home is being built. So it's absolutely within bounds for you to go and watch, as long as, like you said, you're not interfering with workers. If you do see anything that, looks off to you, call your builder. Please don't talk to the subcontractors. We don't want to get them confused over who's actually giving them direction. So just make sure that you call your builder. But yeah, if you want to watch. You should have at your pre-construction meeting if it hasn't happened already. But you will get a key actually to the house so that you do have access to it at all times. We want you guys to be able to access that. It's your property. So yeah,
I will take it a step further, and because I have it memorized from, I did used to do this for a living. I used to sell houses. And you are actually obligated by contract to go through the house. Not only do we
it's required.
Yeah, it's actually required. It says during the work, homeowner shall make periodic walkthrough inspections. That's what it says. So yeah, we want you to go through the house and make periodic walkthrough inspections. We're human beings. We're going to have the house inspected. But like, if you see something, say something. If you see something, there's no dumb questions. Okay. You hadn't done this before. We do it every day, and that's okay. So yeah, during the work, owner shall make periodic walkthrough inspections. That shall is a
so like you said, as long as it's your house. Yes. And yeah.
Now, there is a channel to take those concerns to, and that's your building superintendent. So that, and they're great. They're fantastic. The people here in the chat will tell you that. You just call them up, text them, take a picture, shoot it to them, and say, hey, I saw this. I don't know what this is or what this means, or this is what I thought it was going to be. And they'll pick it up and explain it. So nothing to it. Awesome.
All right. So Michaela's asking, what happens if you still have an open loan on the land?
What do we do, Dawn? What do we do?
So if you're going with our Easy Buy program, which is what most of our customers do, so I'm going to talk to that. All you would do is continue to make the payments on your land loan. throughout. So you're just going to continue to make those payments throughout construction. And then when we get to the end at move-in and you get to your final mortgage, they're going to roll whatever the balance is on the property loan into your final mortgage. So they'll combine the two into one at that point. So just throughout construction, continue to make payments on your land lien. And that's all that we do.
Do it.
Yep. Then we got Eric saying he's fashionably late, but greetings.
All right, he's got a couple of comments and maybe a correction.
Dang work got in the way of my important stuff.
Yeah, don't let that happen, Eric. Don't do that. Do what brings you joy. Be here with us.
Awesome. And I'm not sure, he's saying something about 80%.
Yeah, so when I was walking you through the PMI situation, so Eric, I was talking about, I said equity. So your number is the inverse of that, which is loan to value. So 80% loan to value is the same as 20% equity. So if I have 20%, if I'm putting 20% down in the form of whatever my land value is, I would have an 80%, I'd asking for an 80% loan to value. So super simple math. If the whole lock, stock, and barrel is worth $500,000, $500,000, right, land and house all combined, that's what the appraisal came in at. $400,000 would be 20% down or 80% loan to value. There you go. That's exactly right.
Exactly.
So yeah, if I have 20% equity or 21 or 22, I can avoid PMI. If I have 18 or 19, I'm going to have private mortgage insurance. With the exception of FHA, you will have private mortgage insurance no matter how much down. Well, they don't call it that, though. They call it something else that doesn't sound quite as good. But it's a government program, so it's going to be...
It's a rebrand. Okay. And then I think Eric's saying that we're going to regret letting him watch the build. No,
Eric,
it's what we do.
I think it's a little less than a third of the homes that we build. The customers living on site either with family, like next door, or in an RV, fifth wheel camper or something like that. So, I mean, we are accustomed to working under the scrutiny of the customer's eyes, like literally living there. And that's tough. Okay. That's a tough thing to do because nobody gets to see their car get built. Nobody gets to see sausage get made before they order it at, Cooper's barbecue.
Nobody wants to.
You don't want to participate in that, but you get to watch the house be built, and any mistakes or trip ups that we do, you're going to be firsthand witness of that, but that's okay. We're used to that.
Yeah, our trades are not at all unaccustomed to like pulling up and there being the tailgating chairs watching their work. All right, we've got Jason saying, "Hey guys, I spoke to John Powers last week and he was very helpful. I strongly suggest that anyone considering building a Tilson home and considering the Easy Buy program get in touch with John at Wagon Hill." Awesome.
Thank you for that. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. He's been doing this in the industry for 30 years. I mean, this is, he has forgotten more about loans than I'll ever know.
Yep. We got Valerie saying, "Can a permanent small safe room be added to any plan within reason?" Asking for LEO firearm purposes.
It can, yeah. So she's a law enforcement officer.
Law enforcement officer.
Yep.
Yeah.
It can. What I recommend. So if you're doing it just for firearms, I probably wouldn't go the full Monty and do like the family safe, but I still highly recommend Family Safe. Their company based out of Oklahoma, and they're rated tornado, and they go in during the frame stage. So they're steel boxes basically with doors that open in, and they bolt them down to the slab during the framing stage. That'd be the most extreme thing. Definitely would be safe for firearms. Otherwise, I mean, you could go with like an exterior type door, like a steel or fiberglass door, and have a deadbolt kind of locking thing on it. If you wanted to maybe do just plywood on the inside, that'd be harder to just kind of break through. That might be an option. I do not recommend that if you're wanting an actual quote unquote safe room, tornado type shelter. That's not going to be rated for that. But if you're just looking for, a smaller room behind a locked door, deadbolt, that kind of thing, we can do that as well. And that would definitely be less than fire safe. But I don't know how secure you want it to be for you to sleep at night. So I get it.
Okay. All right. Robin is asking, can you do different textures on the interior walls?
We actually don't have a lot of options for that, Robin. I mean, the only thing we might be able to do besides the kind of that orange peel or splatter would be the heavier splatter drag like we do on the ceilings. We could do a price request on that, Robin, and do that on the walls. But as far as like, we don't have like a skip trowel texture or anything like that we do.
Okay. Donna is saying that she is late today too. Hi, everybody. Hey, Donna.
Man, like,
You are just fine. We got Tessie saying we have our RV on site to watch our build. So see, it's done. It's done.
yep. Boy, I'm gonna tell you that, Tess, if you're doing that in August in Texas, hardcore. Hardcore.
All right. We got Rick saying, what kind of R value is your spray foam stick frame? Understand you do the spray everywhere now. You used to only do the spray up north.
That's right. Yeah. So great question, Rick. And the R value actually does drop compared to bat insulation. So your R frame, R value on your walls is going to be about R11, R13, and then in your attics about like R19, R21, somewhere in there, because it's get 6-inch thick on the attic, 5.5, and 3.5-inch thick on your walls. There will be some 2x6 walls, just where there's like dryer vents, plumbing, that kind of thing. We do 6-inch walls on exterior or sometimes interior. So that's the difference. The advantage is where we are, predominantly where we build. Okay, like there are some places in America, R value is a huge deal. Wyoming, the Dakotas, Montana, like R value matters a lot. Here, it's important, but it's not nearly as important as air leakage or air changes. Okay, so the performance or the efficiency of the homes down here are measured in air changes per hour. And our climate zones down here, climate zone 2 and 3, they allow for 5 air changes per hour max in climate zone 2 and 3 air changes per hour max in climate zone 3. So that's kind of your northern counties, climate 2, your southern ones.
But it does a little bit like this in the middle of the state.
It is the exact line you would imagine that codes and standards people tied to the government would play, which means it's not straight line. And it doesn't follow weather patterns or anything else like that. So don't bother trying to figure it out. It's kind of like a congressional map.
I feel like they had to just like have an even number of counties, and they're like, I take this one. Like it's really
so exactly right. So what ends up happening is what we're worried about is losing air, mainly the cold air that you're paying to have cooled, out of areas that are not sealed up. So under exterior walls, exterior corners, where attics meet exterior walls. So what we found was that the spray foam was the best product out there that seals the house up. You get plenty of R value for where we live. You don't need more than that around here, because R value is really only good if it starts to get really, 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 really cold. And it just doesn't do that here. If it does, it's for like 4 days, and we shut the state down, and we wait. But predominantly we're achieving like less than 3 air changes per hour on every house that we build. I've seen some that are coming in at less than 2 air changes per hour, which is, that exceeds every single requirement, energy rating requirement, Energy Star requirement, or not Energy Star homes, but it far exceeds Energy Star's requirements. But yes, that's why we did that. But answer your question, R13, R21, I believe is what they ended up being rated at. But big plenty. The biggest thing is it's tight.
Yeah, it's tight.
And you get a dehumidifier, and you get a fresh air intake, and a portion of the attic is partially climatized. So it feels cool in your attic. Cooler than outside.
Yeah. We got Scott saying, hey, Eric, since you spent a good bit of time in Grapeland, you should come by and see our soon-to-be beautiful Whitney on our beautiful property.
I'll absolutely do that. Yep. I was there this weekend.
Yeah.
Doing battle
All
with
right,
the water
we got
line.
the other Eric. Real question, though. We don't currently live on site, but in the scenario, we sell our current house during construction. Is it an option to live in an RV on site? I thought I had previously heard we couldn't close on the new house living on site. Maybe I'm way off then.
No.
So that comes back. Yeah, absolutely. You can be in an RV on the site. What you're thinking about that you heard is when we're talking about a mobile home. So if there is a mobile home on the property, we do allow, as long as it's not where we're supposed to be building the house, we can let our customers stay, but we do have to have that off of the property before they move in, with basically every loan program except VA. So kind of what we were talking about at the beginning of the broadcast, that your mortgage financer is only going to allow you to have one home, one residence on the same piece of property. So that's what we're talking about. As far as your fifth wheel, your RV, any vehicle that you can drive away, it's got its own engine.
Which is funny, right? Because is an RV not a mobile home? I mean, it's a mobile tiny home.
I know. So mobile home with engine, fine.
They call it a recreational vehicle. And actually, one little correction there.
Okay.
You'll need to have the mobile home gone before you can close on the loan. We do allow, in those situations, Tilson does allow their customers to move in to the existing home, right? Because they got to get all your stuff out of the mobile home. So you are allowed to move into the home. So if you live in a mobile home on the site, not right now, and we're building the house where you're near where the mobile home is, you're living in the mobile home still. I know it's not your situation, Eric, but we answered yours. You can live there.
We're not going to make you get a storage unit and move into a hotel for 5 days.
Correct.
Sorry. I did leave that part out. Yeah.
2 weeks. You got 2 weeks. So there's all you have to get your insurance, right? You got to get your homeowner's insurance. And you can get that basically as soon as the house is done. You get your homeowner's insurance, which you'll want activated before you move all your stuff in there anyway. So get your homeowner's insurance in place. Once you do that, we give you a 2-week kind of grace period to move into the house, get the mobile home off the property, and then close at the title company and close on your loan.
Okay.
But yeah, I've also seen customers do, Eric, if you don't already have, if you're already doing RV hookups at the house, like you're going to have a plug on your property somewhere for your RV, maybe you're going to have it go to the septic. Usually don't. Water hookups. If not, we have a lot of, it blows my mind every time I drive through the boondocks of Texas, which is where we build. I see an RV park everywhere. And most of them are like 50% full. Some are all the way full. But we have a lot of people they'll go get an RV site that we don't have to fool with, it's got, stuff for septic, water, power. They're set up for it. Meet a community of people that remind you why you're building a home somewhere else. No offense to all our RVers out there. Love y'all. It's just not my gig. I'm a sailboat guy.
All right. We got Tessie sharing construction has started on our Barton Springs in Kirk County. Foundation forms are set. Looks like foundation pour will happen early Thursday morning. Awesome.
Oh, very cool.
We got Valerie saying, yes, I was wondering about a family safe room, not just firearms and work gear. Thank you. I need to look into that Oklahoma company. We're narrowing in on the Cisco plan and trying to figure out where to add it. The Cisco seems to be the winner among our favorites.
Yeah. I mean, you can, obviously you're sacrificing some square. They have different sizes as well. I didn't mention that. They have different sizes. And I mean, theoretically, you're not gonna be in there very long, right? Like if it's a tornado blows through, it's usually over in a matter of seconds, hopefully. But so you're gonna sacrifice some living area. We've also done them in the garage. So we sacrificed some garage area. One I saw that we did up in Lucas, Texas was in the garage. So that will be a husband versus wife battle.
Or where are we going to add the square footage to make up for that? We got Tessie saying had to buy a bigger generator, but honestly, I've been staying at our daughter's home in Converse. We will be out there for the foundation pour. Let's see if I survive the afternoon.
Girl, I'm telling it's
a little warm. A little warm.
It's hot.
All right.
And speaking of R value, not a lot in RVs. Not a lot of R value.
No, not at all. Kelly's asking, am I the first one to build a Brazoria B? Finally picked out our colors. That has been the most stressful part of this build. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, you got it done, so you're good. You're good.
Yeah, you're good.
No, I don't think you're the first Brazoria B. We definitely do see more of the C's, but I think we have seen a couple B's. So you've got friends.
You have friends. Yes, you're in good company.
And Eric says, "Oh, I see. Thank you for clarifying. My wife is going to hate me now."
Man,
living, yeah.
That's just. I mean, I know when I pull up to a job site and I see an RV and I see bicycles and dog bowls, and I'm like, "Oh man, tread lightly."
Just schedule a few getaways to a hotel room that's bigger, and get some space. But it's gonna be fine. All right, guys. Well, these are great questions. Keep putting them in.
Yeah, keep asking more questions. We will keep answering them. We have any more on tap?
Yeah, I do. I have one that actually our new home specialist asked us to cover because they're starting to get this a lot, which is, will we come out to their property to make sure it's buildable?
Okay, so it is August 13th, 2024. And I will put in a temporary, if we have the bandwidth in the area, yes. So ask your sales consultant, or we can. Here's what it is, though. There's only so much we can tell you. First of all, it's buildable. I can tell you that it's buildable. Like In the 25 years I've been doing this, I think I've seen one lot in my career. And actually, I didn't see it. I heard about it. I didn't even see it. It's like a unicorn. Didn't happen. I heard about a lot that we just flat out, hey, it is not buildable. Like, it cannot be done from an access standpoint, from a mitigation, like, it's just not happening. One out of tens of thousands of homes. So it's definitely buildable. The only thing we're going to be able to tell you when we come out, if we come out there, is if it'll fit or not. And even then, we can only do that if you have a survey, right? So if you don't have a survey, then we can't really help you, because we don't know where the imaginary corners are. And by the way, the fence is not reliable. Ever. Don't ever rely on a fence to be the actual property line. It's not. Probably not. It could be, but likely not. Certainly not on four sides. We see a lot of times fences are the closest point to the property line that is also the path of least resistance for the fence company. So if the corners are flagged and there's a current survey, you have a current survey on the property, yes, we can come out and check it out. The problem is, we're still going to have to go under contract to tell you, like, the results of the geotechnical investigation. It's not going to tell you anything. It's basically, all I can tell you is, will the house fit or not? Yes or no, which you could probably do that without us, honestly.
Or we could have done it in the office with a copy of your survey.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's something that there's only so much that's going to reveal. The real reveal comes when we open title. And I've always said this: I'm not worried about the stuff I can see on the property. I'm worried about the things I cannot see: easements, building lines, setback lines, aerial easements, utility easements, blanket easements, mineral lease easements, and then what's under the ground, right? The geotechnical investigation, what type of soil is it sitting on? And the only way to find that out is with an engineer that does a soil sample. And the only way to find out the other one is with title work and a survey. So that's a great question. But in rare cases, I mean, it's not even a rare case, one time we couldn't build one.
All right. Let's see. We've got a couple other questions coming in. We've got Carrie, building in San Jacinto County, backside of Republic Grand Ranch, but not in the development. How long is it usually from drawing approvals to foundation pour? Apollo Duro model, and looking forward to it. Awesome.
Yeah, so that can so if you've got the plan signed, that's going to be a matter of, we order the, I'm assuming we've already done your, you signed the plans already, because we order the engineer foundation, so depending on how long they're taking, and then basically the septic and building permit from San Jacinto County, and your loan approval. So final, which you've been working on, probably those things all along anyway, for sure, the loan approval. So I would say it could be as little as to foundation pour. Okay, so when we start construction and start setting forms, all that kind of stuff, you're still about 2 weeks away, a week or 2 weeks away from foundation pour, because we got to get forms set, then we get dirt in the forms, then the plumbers come out and dig and put the plumbing in, then the concrete guys come back and they dig the beams. So I'm going to say to construct, commencement of construction from is that, if that's fair, Carrie, instead of actual foundation pour. So I would say probably.
She's saying her plans aren't signed yet. She's waiting on the soil test. The county permit is pulled and her credit is ready.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so drawing approvals then. I'm guessing that means.
So she hasn't gotten them yet, I guess, to sign.
Okay, so yeah, you need to sign. Yeah, sign the plans. So when you sign the plans, in that case, you're probably looking at about another 30, 45 days. Could be as long as 60 if there's some kind of weather event. I know we've got, for example, July, we got a ton of rain at the end of June and first half of July. It did push soil tests back, right? It is a large piece of equipment that flat out in areas like where you are, and it could not get up on. Well, it could get on the properties, it couldn't get off the properties, right? So, but there, that's kind of, we've been fine in August. Not a lot of rain. Knock on something. Was a bat. So yeah, I'd say 30, 45 days. The faster the better for us and for you, but 60 would be on the long end. But I'd say 30, 45 days from when you sign your plans to when we can commence construction. But 45, let's say 45.
Okay, makes sense. And then we got Jason saying, if it were up to me, I would buy a new fifth wheel, sell my current home, and hit the road until the new house is done. Kathy, on the other hand, isn't quite as adventurous as me. We will likely be stuck in an apartment. Gotta help me until our Angelina is completed. It's going to
Well,
be, maybe there's like a in the middle.
Jason, if you're going to be stuck in an apartment, if you're going to be stuck somewhere with someone, it should be where the other someone wants to be. So
That's true.
if it
That's
must be
true.
an apartment, so be it.
And if somebody has to not be where they want to be, you want to be somewhere with more space. So.
I wonder if it's ever happened where it was the husband's idea, right? Or do the RV thing, and they're living in the RV, and it's hooked up, and they're driving one night, staying somewhere, and then they wake up and they're in the RV, and the wife's gone. The car is Hulu. The truck is taken off. Like, you do you, bro. I'm leaving.
I am going somewhere else.
You're welcome to stay in this as long as you like.
Schedule frequent breaks. Go somewhere a little bit bigger. Yeah.
That's funny.
We got Jennifer saying, I've noticed you build all over Texas. How many home builds do you take on at once? Do you have specific contractors per county?
Wonderful question. So yeah, it is. County is a little bit too minute. So I would say by we have these little micro regions, we call them. There are no other regions of Texas but ours. But if Texas were to break up into like 13 or 14 different states, we've got the plan done. You don't have to worry about it. But yeah, it's based on density of jobs, basically. And so we can build as many as 400 houses at once or so. That's not what we're doing currently, so don't worry about that. But that is like full tilt, all bandwidth. That's about it. We're not anywhere close to that right now, so you don't have to worry about that. We have plenty of bandwidth, and so maybe you're talking about individuals at once. I mean, we have some building superintendents that, they're running around with 4 jobs. We have some that are running around with maybe 10, 14 at the most. And again, that's going to depend on proximity. So
well, and also the size of the homes they're building too.
Yep, for sure.
How complicated the house is. So
yep. Yeah, so there's not a set number. Yeah, to Don's point, we look at a couple of different variables, right? How complicated is the home? How many other homes in the area does this person have versus the person who's adjacent to them?
How far apart are the homes? Because we want to make sure they get there enough times.
Yes, and the decision is going to be made of whatever's going to get the home built the quickest for the customer. Because and some of them share contractors across these regions, and some of them don't. Some of these contractors, this is the only place they work. They don't leave that spot. So that's a great question. But yeah, we have kind of little micro regions that we have on a map in Justin Rich's office, and it's got little pins all over it. We have a Google map too now.
It's online too, guys.
I like the push pins though. The push pins are cute.
They are very cute. Donna is asking, when will the Angleton models be completed?
Good question, Richard. When will the Angleton models be? No, it's very soon. Very soon. So we were probably talking. The models will probably be done within the next 30 days. Then we gotta have a little landscaping.
Yep. So yeah, the last I heard, Richard was saying end of September, beginning of October, all done. That's, and when we say that, we're talking landscaping, moving in all the furniture, making them all pretty, but the houses themselves are almost finished. Eric is asking if we track the divorce statistic. We leave that to someone else, but
we do not do that. We do not.
But yeah, if you're in the small space and you're not taking frequent breaks, so I think statistically it probably increases your chances. Take the break. It's okay. It's okay.
Take some breaks. All right, we'll do maybe one more question or last call if you want to drop in the chat. If you want to drop in the chat, last call for questions there. We'll answer all of them. And then we probably have another one or two. Yeah,
I'm trying to see what we haven't already covered, which is really nobody asked us.
Good. You got saved by the bell.
Oh, we got saved? Okay. Then I'll hold that. I had that one. Let's see. Let's see. Valerie's saying we have land that backs up about a quarter mile to a train track. As far as the best noise blocking option is concerned, is there something you recommend? The land location and resources are perfect, but my town is train central and it makes me nervous.
Yeah. There's not a lot. I mean, so quick. I like wax myrtle. Vegetation is going to be your quickest, least expensive option. Okay. I mean, yeah, there's walls and things like that you see if you're driving around, beltway thing like that around Houston or Grand Parkway that's up a subdivision, they make the developer put in like this very large, elaborate concrete wall. That's not an option. I mean, it's an option, I guess. Anything's an option if you want to pay for it, but that is not a cost-effective option. I like vegetation, so anything quick growth, wax myrtles are quick growth. As bad as I hate, as invasive as it is, bamboo. But man, that was a hard one to. Ooh, that's a hard one to beat down because it can take over.
Yeah, you got to like put in a trench and concrete and
and hire someone with a machete at all times. Like they're just standing there and that's all they do. But yeah, vegetation is going to be your best and fastest option. And now we can do maybe some. I'm trying to think of any sound deadening we could do on the back, but the windows are going to be what lets the sound in, right? Like, and they do an amazing job. I mean, the double pane vinyl windows, so they're gonna transmit the least amount of sound of windows, but they're still gonna transmit. My guess is, and I'm only saying this because I did go to a school there in College Station. I call Harvard on the Brazos. Some call it Texas A&M University, but and look, there's a train that goes, not exaggerating, straight through the middle of campus. It's called College Station because it was a train station that the college was at. We are not very creative people there. It is an agricultural mechanical college. Okay. I can tell you I lived on campus the whole time because in the Corps Cadets, and you get to a point where you don't even hear it. Like, it's there when you're walking that way and you see it, but I promise you get to a point where and there's apartments built all up and down that train track. All up and down what's called Welborn Road. It follows Welborn Road, goes right by the baseball stadium, right by the football. You just forget that it's there. So I know that sounds maybe hokey, but I'm telling you, you just tune it out.
Yeah. Okay. Phyllis is asking, where's the Sonora model home located? So technically we do not have a Sonora model. It is actually an updated version of one of our other models. So if you want to see the model that is most similar to that plan, you would want to be going to Katie, because the Sonora is just an updated version of our Fredericksburg plan. So it's some of the more common changes that we were seeing our customers make to that plan that we went ahead and reincorporated into the plan. So that's going to be the one that's the most similar.
Very similar.
Yes.
Okay.
It is very close. And that is all the questions I see, guys.
Very cool. Well, thank you for putting this together, Dawn. And thank you all for watching, tuning in. We really do appreciate that. The conversation does not have to end here, as y'all know. So if you found us here, that's because you probably found us somewhere else. There's a lot of information on our website, of course, open 24/7 with new home specialists on standby to take your calls, answer high-level questions, set appointments for you. You got 12 design centers open 7 days a week with model homes, fit and furnished for you to walk through. So we want to sit there, talk to you there, have a have a cup of coffee or Jason, man.
Oh, Jason and Kathy, we love y'all.
Little Chinese proverb called Confucius say, "When in hole, stop digging." All right, so anyway, come see us at one of the design centers. Obviously, we have the Facebook page. A lot of you are watching on there. We have a YouTube channel. A lot of you are watching from there. There is a ton more content, both of those places, so you can see every single one of these videos as well as others. Let's see what else we have.
Jason, I'm not going to dig your hole any deeper.
Great. You talking about that? Hey, where's Eric Collerman down there with the divorce rate stat?
You both stop.
Put a tick mark down, son. No,
said with love. Said with love.
Yeah, of course. We're family, right? Anyway, so yeah, thank you all for watching. We did have, Valerie's got another question.
Yeah, Valerie, let's see. She's asking, do you have the schedule of when you go live for questions and when you do virtual tours? I just happen upon these randomly. I'd like to know when you're online. So we try to be online as many Tuesdays at 2 p.m. as we can. So I usually get them scheduled towards the end of the week before we kind of figure out if our schedules allow it and what we're going to be covering. But in general, we'll be here Tuesday at 2 p.m. and you'll see it kind of posted by like the Thursday or Friday before. And that's when we'll
right. And I would say it's pretty rare that we're not. It's usually when one of us is traveling. Or sometimes we're both traveling. Like there'll probably be the first week in October, we probably won't be doing one because we will be
We'll both be somewhere.
Yeah,
Chicago?
Whatever it is. Anyway, at a summit. Okay, so
Yeah.
for example, that's when we would not be here. But other than that, Tuesdays, 2:00 Central.
Mhm.
This is America, the Republic of Tilson, runs on Central Time.
Okay.
And so yeah, Tuesday, 2:00, YouTube and Facebook both. And
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, and like I said, Dawn, her team does an awesome job of dropping it on all of our socials. When we're going to be there, and I think it pops up. Does it pop on the website when you go to it as well? If we're live?
Yes, yeah. So it'll be posted with our seminars on our website, as well as there'll be an event on Facebook, and YouTube will have a schedule. So if you sign up to make sure that you're getting our notifications, you'll get notified. Of
Do
our
we
event.
get to Valerie? Will you smash that like button and hit subscribe, or is that what do you do?
Hit subscribe. So she's on
Subscribe?
Facebook, and I think those are YouTube terms, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Well, nonetheless.
but if you like us, if you like our page, you should get notifications when we schedule.
And if you're wondering if we were from Gen X, yes, we are.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, latchkey children. Okay, so thank you all for joining us. Yeah, Eric and Jason seem to be pretty secure, and they have different methods of.
Yes, they do. They have different methods. Jason's provoking Kathy. Like I said, I'm not going to participate. And Eric says he just doesn't invite his wife.
Because absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Grow fonder.
That's why.
Yes.
Not or does
She's
it?
taking some. She's
Does
taking
absence
some
make the
space.
heart go yonder? Oh no, you don't want to do that. That's not good. Anyway,
No.
Whatever. A rhyme is a rhyme. Okay, thank you all for joining us. We've clearly gone over because we're fully off. Thank you all for doing this. We will be around next Tuesday. We hope to hear from you, and we really soon hope to make you part of the Tilson family. We'll see y'all later.
Bye, everybody.